How is KwaZulu-Natal approaching the African National Congress's upcoming policy and electoral conferences? How are tensions between the ANC and the SACP impacting unity within the alliance in KZN? And by the way, is KZN ready to host the World Economic Forum in May this year? And what will be the potential economic benefits for hosting an event of this magnitude? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Sihle. Popularly known as the ANC's biggest province, KwaZulu-Natal continues to have an enormous influence within the ruling party's programs and policies, including matters of leadership. It is also one of the provinces where the contentious ANC succession issues have failed to die down. Earlier this month, the provincial leadership had to caution the Youth League against entering into the succession debate before time. Membership is also down. The party is in conflict with its alliance partner in Inanda. And there are said to be two camps. One, Senzo Mkunu, the other, Sihle Zikalala. But politics aside, the province is set to host the World Economic Forum in May. This as it is putting out all stops to meet the requirements of having won the bid to host the Commonwealth Games in 2022. We are live, and therefore you can call us and hear your views. The numbers 089-110-4210, 089-110-4210. Our Twitter handle @QuestionTime24. Hashtag Ask Sihle. My guest, Sihle Zikalala. He's the ANC chairperson in KwaZulu-Natal and he's also the MEC for Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs. Sihle, welcome to Question Time.
And thanks for hosting us today and thanks to your viewers.
Yeah. Well, politics. Where do we start? And I'm going to try and take advantage of your presence here and talk about as many things as possible. Let's start with the question of unity in KZN. Besides the fact that there are tensions in certain regions within the province between the ANC and the Communist Party, there are also tensions within the ANC itself.
Well, the question of unity is always important for the ANC. Primarily because the ANC was established to unite the people of South Africa and lead them in the quest for freedom. We will always work to unite the organization, and at no stage we will say we've attained maximum unity. As long as the organization grows, the question of building unity remains critical. I can say that we've had challenges in the recent past arising from a provincial conference as well as some regional conferences. However, we have worked and we're continuing to work with speed to ensure that we pull the organization and once again consolidate the unity of the ANC. We are cognizant of the fact that if we're not united, we're going to lose the general support, but also that is going to destabilize the functioning of the ANC. Electorally, in terms of the electoral support, we're where we are because of unity. You will remember that in 1994, the ANC didn't win the elections. Yeah. We got 32%, but today we're more than 63%, we're 63%, and that has been because of unity. So we're saying we're not going to stop. We'll always go all out, reach to all comrades of the ANC, and ensure that we unite them.
And by the way, 2017 December is not making things easy at all for unity prospects in KwaZulu-Natal. There are said to be divisions. Some are supporting Cyril Ramaphosa, some Nkosazana Zuma, some Jeff Radebe, some Baleka Mbete.
That's great. It shows that there is democracy in the ANC. Let me remind you that in 1952, when President Luthuli was elected as the president of the ANC, there were more than 10 candidates who were standing for the presidency at that time. And therefore, even now, we should not be surprised by the fact that there are many people whose names are discussed. But going on as we approach the national conference, I'm sure that views will begin to align and we will see the ANC emerging again. What is important is that we ensure that we follow processes, but what is important also is to ensure open discussion, where structures are going to be open and discuss issues without suppressing views. And I believe that, as we said in the General Council of the ANC, the conference is about branches. And branches are the electoral college of the ANC. Irrespective of what the leadership feels, branches must be allowed to express themselves. And that's how democracy must work in the African National Congress.
Do you think that the system which the ANC uses to elect leaders is still relevant at this time and age, where comrades have to wait until probably after the policy conference, when it will be said, yes, now you can openly discuss matters of leadership? But also the fact that people can't stand up and say, you know what, I feel I'm ready, I'm able, my credentials speak for themselves, elect me.
We discussed that in 2007, going to the Polokwane conference of the ANC. There were views that the ANC have reached a time where it needs just to allow people to express their interest, and those who are available and they think that they are capable to take those responsibilities should just avail themselves, and we run preliminaries as it happens in America. But the feeling of the organization was that let us stick to the organizational democratic principles that we have right now, which I believe that are working for the ANC so far. But we are not a stagnant organization that is stuck with the past. We are an organization that is evolving. Of course, going to the national conference, those are issues that we're going to discuss. But structures must be allowed to discuss leadership issues openly. And we must not take the leadership issues as if it's an end. We'll still have an organization even in 2018 going forward. Those who, whenever there are elections in the ANC, we always say those who are not elected must accept that there've been elections and there is a leadership. They must support the elected leadership. Their time will come in future.
Well, you were the first speaker from the floor at the Polokwane conference. Am I correct? Now, which means that some of these decisions are decisions that can still be adopted at conference. Why is it not possible, for instance, that you abolish the slate system and you vote for each leader at conference, you vote for a president, come up with the results, let's get to know who the president is, then you vote for the deputy president. Don't you think that would eliminate the slate, and perhaps instead of the winner taking all, you would still be able to accommodate cadres who you know are able to deliver in leadership?
We've done that in KwaZulu-Natal at some point. In one conference of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, we had Comrades Bundebele and Comrades Zweli Mkhize standing for the chairperson's position. But Comrade Zweli was also standing as a deputy. We then voted for the first position. After voting for that, we then voted, after the result were announced, we then voted for the deputy. Then Zweli was elected as the deputy after having not been elected as the chair. So I think it's the issue we can look at. But what is important is that right from the beginning, our approach should be informed by inclusive leadership. We should not adopt fixated approach where we will say if you are not with us, you should not be in the leadership. So whatever happens, we must be able to ensure that comrades in the ANC close ranks, and the national conference that is forthcoming must emerge with a collective that will be embraced by the entire membership of the ANC.
Let's go to our lines. Roy, you are in Gauteng. Welcome.
Hi, Mpo.
Hi, welcome, Roy.
Comrade Sihle, how are you, leader?
Fine, how are you, my chief?
I'm fine, man. Comrade Sihle, I just want to hear from you, man. You have emphasized the point of unity. I want to address you as the leader of, as the chairperson of the province and also MEC. What is your say in terms of the killings? Not between the ANC but the overall province, because I'm just worried the killings that are happening that involve politics. As a chairperson, not only for ANC, but look holistically now in the province, the killings that are happening. I know the premier has actually instituted a commission, but it's really concerning that we've been talking about this for a long time. What are steps that can move fast actually to cap this thing? Because killings are not good, whether it's IFP or ANC members, but killings are just not good at all.
Thanks, Roy.
Thank you.
I think it's an important question. We are tackling this issue. It has affected us as the ANC. Going to the local government elections on the 3rd of August, we contested with 3 comrades who had been killed. And we ran the by-elections after we won. So it is an important issue that we must address, and we are addressing it. As the ANC, we called for the establishment of the Commission of Inquiry, which the Premier followed and adopted that. He took that to the Executive Council, and we've then adopted it as the Executive Council. We're expecting that the Commission will start soon. But secondly, what we want to see is the proper investigation of all these cases and prosecution of all people involved to send a clear message that this is not accepted.
Hold it there. We're taking a quick break. When we return, we'll continue our discussion with Sihle Zikalala. The number to dial 0891104210. Tweet us at QuestionTime24. We shall return.
If you ask this pretentious mixologist what is needed to make the ultimate cocktail, she'd say, a thorough knowledge of science. Ooh, right in the face. Yes. If you asked us, we'd say it's less about science and more about, well, chemistry.
Get a bottle of Cedric's, the original Old Brown, for only $27.99 from Tops at Spar.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. You can call us and there you've used the numbers to dial 0891104210. My guest, Sihle Zikalala, is the ANC chairperson in KwaZulu-Natal. He's also the MEC for Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs. Sydney, you are in Polokwane. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call.
Very well, thank you. I've got a question for your guest today.
Yes.
I hear your guest saying the ANC is sticking to the historical processes. What is his take on the comments from the president that South Africa is ready for a woman president? Meanwhile, we know that historically, the deputy president becomes the president of the country.
Sydney?
Hello?
Yes, you were saying, what is it, what dictates the deputy president becoming the president?
When the ANC goes to the conference,
yes,
we know that the deputy president, the existing deputy president, becomes the president of the ANC and the president of the country.
But which conference is that? Because I remember all conferences were contested.
No, what I'm saying now, Cyril is the deputy president.
Yes.
We were under the impression that because they're going to the conference now, Cyril is going to become the president of the ANC.
Okay, Sydney, it's fine. Thanks for the call. Let me allow you to answer.
No, thanks. I think there have been a number of comrades in the ANC who have been deputy president but not elected as president at the end. If that would be the tradition, it will mean we must go back and say in 2012 there was a deputy president by the name of Kgalema Motlanthe. He should have then followed. Now we've got a deputy president. So this is not just an obvious issue. However, where I agree with the caller is that once you've got a deputy president, then there is an expectation that that deputy president might be elected. But it is not inherent because the organization is a democratic organization. From time to time, the organization must assess what kind of leaders it needs to lead the organization. If you go through the document titled Through the Eye of the Needle, it says that the leadership that is elected must be equal to the task. And in this regard, we are not yet there. We have not even started discussing that. So we will start discussing and look who are equal to the current task, and those we believe are equal to the current task will then be elected to lead the ANC going forward.
Bongani, you are in East London.
Hello?
Yes, welcome.
Yes, thank you. I just want to check with the chairperson of the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
Yes.
I do understand that the first region of the ANC League who have made an announcement that they endorse Zuma to be the second person. What is the stance of the ANC in that region, in that province, in this regard? I'm very much concerned because what is happening around South Africa is that the ANC KwaZulu-Natal is President Zuma, and that's why the wife of the president is in. What is the stance of the ANC in this regard? Was it really, to us, means that this is real? Was it the first region of the ANC League is within that region? I'm posing this question to the chairperson to respond as the ANC chairperson of the province as well as the ANC member.
Okay, thanks, Bongani.
They have said nothing.
No, thanks a lot. I think Bongani is coming with a good question. The first thing is that Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma is not, didn't join the revolution and the struggle because of President Zuma. Okay. She joined as a member of the organization. She has played many roles and responsibilities in the organization without being attached to President Zuma. Now, it will be unfortunate if we will then say she is, whatever happens to her and her role in the organization is determined by what is seen as a relationship with President Zuma. Mm. She joined the organization and she has been in the revolution with her own credentials as required in the organization. And I don't believe it's fair to say that the Youth League or anyone who propose Nkosazana will do so to protect President Zuma. President Zuma need no protection for what? Because all issues that have faced President Zuma have been processed and been attended to. But having said so, I don't want us to start reducing issues of leadership into names. Because as KwaZulu-Natal, we want to see the ANC being united going forward. Mm-hmm. We'll want to see the ANC emerging from the next conference with the leadership that is embraced and supported by all members of the African National Congress. Whether it will be anyone who's elected, for us is to take the revolution forward. So I think that is what is important for us.
Siseko, you are in Gugulet.
Correct, sir. How are you?
I'm well, thanks for the call.
Okay. I just want to address, to ask if it's possible, if you can bring more people from the EFF. You know, these people from the ANC, we are sick and tired of them. They've been promising, making a lot of unfulfilled promises. Here in Cape Town, it's a mess. They've been promised no more promises. They don't fulfill their promise. If you can do us a favor, just because I like you to watching you and listening to your program, to what is this on TV. But now, I'm not happy, man, about these guys. With everything that they do, they just keep on promising, but without they don't fulfill their promises.
Okay, Siseko, thanks for the call. I'm now even scared to promise that I will bring the other people, but well, we've always been an objective program that allows everybody. At least that's one thing we pride ourselves with. But now, let me be blatant with you. Do you support Nkosazana's candidacy?
Dlamini Zuma is a member of the ANC. We support her like all members of the ANC. We are not yet at a stage where we will pronounce ourselves on the leadership of the ANC. I've always said that the ANC has always been ready for the leadership of a women leadership. But we will not be looking for a woman leadership, a woman president. We'll be looking for the president of the ANC. And in that consideration, we will not say this is a male or a female, but we'll elect a person who will be equal to the current task of the organization.
Fine. Can I now have the MEC? Davos, you went and you're back. I know that you're hosting the World Economic Forum, the Africa chapter in May. Are you ready?
We are ready. As KwaZulu-Natal, we are ready. We have hosted a number of international events. The African Union was launched in KwaZulu-Natal. The World AIDS Conference have had 2 conferences in KwaZulu-Natal. We had an international conference against racism in KwaZulu-Natal. So we're ready to provide hospitality to all those who will be attending the WEF Africa. For us, the WEF Africa is very important because it is bringing and uplifting the brand of our province and the city of Durban. But more than that, it will be in KwaZulu-Natal. What is important is that it must be in KwaZulu-Natal whenever it is in South Africa.
Oh yes, that's one thing that you are moving for.
You know that Davos, when people go to World Economic Forum, which is global, they don't say we're going to WEF. They just say we're going to Davos.
Yes.
The World Economic Forum Africa is held in South Africa, and the next year it goes to another country in Africa, and then the following year back to South Africa. So we will want to keep it in Durban so that the brand is built and profiled. But more than that, we are a gateway to Africa as KwaZulu-Natal. We've got 2 ports. Those 2 ports were very strategically located. Those 2 ports transport more than 60% of goods inside and out or outside South Africa. Goods that are imported or exported via the shipping industry. But it goes through those ports.
But then how will it benefit Umthembeni Escotin Sagacez?
What will happen is that when people come to KwaZulu-Natal, especially the members of the business community, the first thing, they are fact that they will be there. The occupancy rate in all hotels will go high. Almost all hotels will be packed, but also they will be injecting money during their stay. And we're expecting that this is going to inject at least 155 million to the GDP of the province. But each and every person who comes to a business event, that person arrives a day earlier, or he or she will stay for a few days. And in staying, he will go around and take a tour. So we will be launching the program for those who will arrive early and those who will stay. But more than that, we are going to expose the business community into programs we have, economic programs, especially around industrialization and manufacturing.
What are you selling as KZN? What should a potential investor think of when KZN is mentioned?
The first is that as KwaZulu-Natal, we've got 2 economic zones. The special economic zone in a form of Dube Trade Port and the Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone. If an investor wants to come, we've got already the land prepared with bulk infrastructure. We've got incentives in terms of the reduced tax, but also in terms of the reduced rental accommodation. So we're saying people who want to come for manufacturing must come to Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, either Dube Trade Port or Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone.
Sihle Zikalala, thank you very much for your time.
Great. Thanks, Mpo.
All right. That was question time for today. A big thank you to my guest and to you for watching the show. From me and the entire crew, I